Hey friends, welcome back to The Daily. This is Adriana. It's great to be back here with you for another practice in our theme of generosity. And of course, we've been practicing with our other contributing teachers over the past couple of days, which is always a treat to be back here with you after a string of being off of the cushion. So for today's practice, we're going to keep it really spacious. And in fact, today we're going to kick off a little bit of a two-parter, and that will be keeping it spacious tomorrow as well, because it's been a while since we've had a really spacious, silent practice to just like luxuriate in, right? The grace of space. So I'm going to keep my yapping here to a minimum so that we can maximize our time in meditation practice. But before we kick it off, one of these ideas or perspectives that we've been working with in generosity this month is just the idea that no matter what it is that brought you to the meditation cushion today, whatever your intention or motivation or reason or purpose, why you said yes, why you showed up, why you're practicing, there's something implicitly generous about carving out this space for ourselves, taking 20 minutes without distraction, without disruption, to really just honor our own company, right? There's something I think really so sweet and loving and generous about sending the message to ourselves that we honor our own time, our own attention, and our own presence enough to really just hang out with ourselves for the next 20 minutes. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to keep it really nice and spacious. And of course, the instructions hold true that whatever it is that shows up in our practice today, whether it be thoughts, feelings, emotions, physical sensations, impulse, literally whatever shows up in our meditation practice, to see if we can hold this view of generosity and really just welcoming it in. Whatever it is that arrives, we welcoming it in, we notice it, we acknowledge, and then we just continue to come back to ourselves, right? Coming back to the body, back to the breath, and staying on the receiving end of our present moment experience. So let's do it. Wherever you happen to be, taking a moment to decide on your seat, whatever seat feels comfortable today. Could be a chair, meditation cushion, maybe we're laying down today. So really just making sure our body's on board here. And then once we've landed, just taking a moment to decide on our gaze, eyes open or eyes closed. And then we'll take just a few beats here as always to open our practice by opening our senses. Shifting the attention over to sound. So receiving the sounds of the space that we're in. Perhaps sounds from my side of things, intermingling with sounds from your side of things. Staying open to the field of sound. And shifting the attention to touch. Feeling the shape that the body makes. And all of those tiny points of pressure where the body makes contact against the floor, the chair, feeling where the body meets the body itself. And perhaps even just allowing some of our body weight to release here. Anything that we're holding on to, holding back. Again, one of these tenets of generosity is just letting go. And letting ourselves be supported here by this representation of Earth. And the Earth will hold our weight for us. Perhaps taking in the texture of clothing against our skin. Temperature of the air in the room. So as always, very little effort needed here. It's beginning to open up to what already is. Just our bodies here in space. The direct experience of that. Dropping into the feet. Feeling the feet here. Space between the toes, texture, temperature. It's bringing a bit of interest to the details. Tracing the attention across the shin bones. Circling through the kneecaps. Grazing along the thighs. And landing in the hips. Feeling where the sit bones meet the cushion, the chair. Just continuing to move through our bodies, bringing the attention to the tailbone, sacrum, base of the spine. Just beginning a slow, deliberate climb across the lower back, middle back, upper back. Just a light extension at the crown of the head. Tracing the attention across the slope of the forehead. Space between the eyebrows. Maybe even just allowing the space behind the eyes to relax a bit. Releasing any tension that may have collected here. Tracing the attention down the bridge of the nose into the jaw. And releasing any clenching that might be happening here. Maybe even rocking the jaw back and forth in its cradle. Dropping the attention into the belly, the chest. Just taking a few moments here in the belly, the chest. Just beginning to establish contact with the body, breathing. So again, very little effort needed. The body knows how to breathe. We're just bringing a bit of vested interest to the quality of breath today. Its rhythm, its cadence, its depth. Feeling the way the breath moves in the body. Continuing to allow the attention to ride the cycle of breath as it moves through the body. And we'll continue into practice, just using that singular instruction that as our minds wander, which they naturally will, we're just noticing when we've left our breathing, acknowledging what captures our attention, and then gently, firmly back to the breath in the body. So again, if we find our attention drifting here, maybe entirely lost in thought at this point, of course, no big deal. That's what the mind does. Just acknowledging where we've landed. Light touch of recognition and feeling the body breathe. So that continual return. It's coming back to the body, back to the breath, back to the moment at hand, and allowing ourselves to be here. So at this point in practice, we've very likely gotten a clear sense of our quality of mind today. Maybe we find that today we're practicing with a particularly busy mind or speedy mind, spacey mind, restless mind, planning mind, judging mind. Whatever quality of mind we encounter in practice today. Just a bit of encouragement to drop any edge of self-aggression. Just having the generosity to let ourselves off the hook a little bit. And just allowing ourselves to work with our mind as it is, sincerely in this moment. And again, when we find ourselves drifting out to sea, no big deal. In that tiny gap of recognition, just acknowledging where we've landed and feeling the body breathe. And again, if we've left our body, left our breath, maybe left the room altogether, no big deal. And just acknowledging where we've landed and ushering the attention back, and feeling the weight of our body here in space, and texture of our clothes, temperature of the air, and just relocating ourselves, finding our vantage point. And feeling the vacillation of breath in the body and allowing ourselves to be here. This is it. And then in our final few moments of practice together, perhaps just taking the opportunity to reconnect to what it is that brought you here. Why yes, why today, why practice. Doesn't have to be profound as long as it's honest. And closing out with a little bit of sweetness, maybe a hand on the heart, just giving ourselves a kind word, a bit of thanks for taking the time, making the space, and treating our own company like it matters to us. And then as you're ready, letting formal practice drop and coming back in together at your own pace, no rush. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for practice. So nice, so simple, so spacious. Yeah, we're gonna do the same thing tomorrow. So I look forward to that with you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Enjoy, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.